Hey everyone, happy day. Crystal Thompson here with a Studio Katia project. Today we are utilizing the beautiful honeybees and I can't wait to show you what we're making today. We're using lots of Studio Katia products, some new stuff and some older stuff, and a lot of creative dyes that I hope you guys love it. And I know you guys have a lot of this products already that I think you're gonna love this card. So Crystal Thompson here again. We are live on YouTube, on Studio Katia Facebook, and on my personal Crystal Thompson Design Facebook. So wherever you're watching, welcome. Be sure to leave a comment below because you will be entered to win a Studio Katia gift card as you enter your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, anything really down below, and then I will pick a winner and contact you on Monday for that gift card. And then for friends that are watching post live, if you share this live stream, we will totally go ahead and select a winner from the shares, and then we will do that. We'll give it a couple of days as well, probably till Wednesday. That way you have quite some time to share this, and every time you share, depending on the platforms that you shared on, you get a chance to win. I do have to say there is no purchase necessary, and this is not sponsored by Facebook or YouTube or anything else. This is just a personal thank you from Studio Katia for watching and joining us live today. So I feel like I've spoken enough. Let's get started on this project. We're gonna use the honeybees. This was just released, and let me show you this beautiful, adorable stamp set. I have already gone ahead and stamped and colored and then die cut the beautiful little bees from the honeybees, and I'm using the coordinating die. So I have them right here ready to go, and I like to store them together, but I'm just popping them on so you guys can see what the little bees look like. And they're so sweet, and it makes it super easy to pre-color, to stamp pre-color while you're watching TV or in the car or whatever. And I did this with Copics, and I didn't blend a ton, so there's not the coloring on it is not super advanced, but there's still a very sweet stamp set. So let me pop these over to the side. We're going to be using the Happy Bee Day. Next, for our scene, we're going to be using the sky set dotted borders. And let me bring in, I have already gone ahead and die cut these from the sky dotted borders. And so these are just cut on some white cardstock. We're gonna layer them with some Studio Katia foam. And it comes with these beautiful little clouds, or really puffy clouds. They have the little dots, and then you have these really fun itty bitty clouds. And we're gonna be using these as well. So that's what we're using out of the sky dotted borders. Next, we're gonna be using just a piece of white cardstock. This is gonna be our base. This is from the Dotted Patterns 3. And so this is gonna be the base of our card. And I like to create card panels before putting them on my card base, just because it makes it super easy and not having to deal with the bending of the cardstock. And so that's what I'm gonna do. So we're making this card panel first, and then at the end, we'll go ahead and attach it to our card base. For embellishments, of course, we are using sky blue, and our color selections here are from Stampin' Up. I'm using Soft Sky Marina Mist, and I'm going to be using ink blenders from Studio Katia as well. And I feel like the whole thing is going to look really pretty. I'm using Studio Katia glue and the ever fabulous the embellishment wand. So to get started, I'm going to grab my cardstock that I had cut it out of the dotted patterns. You want to use some printer paper or something to protect your surface. I mistakenly didn't protect my surface a couple cards ago and now can't get that out. So I'll have to purchase a new mat. But until then, we're just going to do this on this white cardstock. Let me get you guys a little bit closer. Okay, to that dotted patterns. I'm using Nina 110 pounds. Sorry, I'm shaking you guys there for a bit. Let's see, trying to get you. There we go. Ta-da! The beauties of live card making. So we are going to begin with our ink blenders. We're going to pop up the Soft Sky. We're going to start with the lightest one. And my reason why is that we're going to just use that Marina Mist, that darker of the blues, at the very end just to add some shadows. So I'm just going to blend, blend, blend very lightly. I'm not going to do a ton of coloring on this. I considered using Distress Oxides, but I didn't want to make it so dark. And I feel like those are so creamy that it makes it really, really dark. And I'm kind of wanting a very soft look to this card. I'm not one to make a ton of scene cards. That's just not my style. But when I started looking at these little bees, and then I'm like, you know what? We can make a nice little summer, spring sky with the little bees. So that's kind of my inspiration behind this. We're not going to blend too far down. The reason why is that we're going to have those clouds, those puffy clouds, and it would be a waste of time and ink. So guys, where are you watching from? What are you guys up to this weekend? We're getting really close to spring break. Very excited about that. Not going anywhere, but very excited for you if you're going somewhere. Now we're just gonna stay home and create, right? And so as we dream of spring skies, I am in Pineville, Wyoming, USA. So we still got another 2 months of winter. True story. All right, I'm really happy with this. And as you can see, I'm not doing a ton of circles because I'm really liking the shape of the brush, how it actually imprints onto this cardstock. We're gonna set that aside and bring in that Marina Mist. You can use a different blender. I am gonna use a different blender. This is one that I've used a darker color with. And I love how it just grabs that color, and then we're gonna do the edges. Blend, blend, blend. And I don't want it to be a night sky, so I'm being very careful about not adding too much of this dark, but just enough to give it a little bit of contrast. All right. Okay. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to set this aside. And because we're not using anything that requires a heat set, we can just move on to the next step. And there we have our beautiful sky-inspired cardstock. Now we're going to begin our setup of the clouds that we created using the sky dotted border. So you do want to have a piece of cardstock. So let me show you. I cut these on my Gemini. I was using scrap pieces of cardstock, so I'm actually going to let this one be, but you might end up having to trim the bottom parts of your clouds. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab my Studio Katia foam adhesive. Let me show you this. This roll is so huge, it's not going to fit in my frame, even though I'm super zoomed in as well. This is perfect for shaker cards, and it's super sticky. Super sticky. So I'm going to add just a little piece on the back. We're going to give it a nice little rub so it attaches, and then we're going to lift that backer. And then we're going to place our cloud. And I put it up higher because then I'm going to place our next one, and I want it to look, you know, like behind. So I want it to look layered. So I'm going to cut another piece of foam. Let's set that aside here for a bit. And then I'm going to add the foam directly to the card. And the reason why is that we're going to end up trimming that other cloud. Okay, just kind of doing that, and then I'm gonna place this, and we're not gonna trim on the card. It'd just be really difficult. It'd be a lot of room for error. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna flip this over, then using my sharp scissors or a trimmer, it's up to you. You can just cut around, or cut following the outline of your card panel. Or you could use your paper trimmer. So it's up to you. You can even use a pencil to mark it if you're unsure about it, but I'm pretty happy with hand cutting it. So now we can lift up that backer. I don't know if you cut onto that. I didn't lift the back, or it kind of just exposes a tiny little bit. And this tape is really sticky. Once you set it down, it's down for good. It's not going anywhere. So now I have my clouds. Super fun, very pretty. Next, we're gonna put on our other clouds from the Sky Dotted Borders, and I cut 2 sets. So there's 2 little clouds. I cut 2 sets of those, and I'm gonna be using itty bitty pieces of foam for the backs of these clouds. And if you're having a hard time grabbing onto these, you can use your Studio Catia tool. And let me show you how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna do that one by hand, but you can use your tool, and this has a nice, very kind of sticky, and it even grabs die cuts. So I'm gonna put the foam directly into my card, remove that backer, and place my cloud. See how easy that is? It really does make it super easy to place these tiny little die cuts. Super fun. I'm really loving this tool. I hope that you have picked it up. It is essential for die cuts, and that one doesn't have any glue. Die cuts and embellishments and anything that requires lifting. It just makes it super easy. And then we're going to do, last but not least, another little cloud. Remove the backing. Grab your die cut. We're going to layer those guys, right? How cool is that? We're already starting to build our little scene. Then we're going to grab our little bee. And I feel like we need to use flying bees, not necessarily bees that are on the ground. We do have this one coming out of the little flower, but we're doing more of a sky flying bee. So we're going to place a piece of foam. And as you can see, this is a really large die cut, so I'm just going to pick it up. See how good this is? I'm so happy about this, if you can't tell. And I'm looking for another flying bee. I think this flying bee is going to be down here. Another piece of foam. Remove backer. And grab the bee. All right, so I totally made a mistake and didn't stamp my sentiment on this bottom cloud. Like this is for reals. Like, so what are we gonna do? I love lives because it shows you mistakes. And how are we gonna fix that? We need to have a sentiment, or I have my happy bee day. I'm not very comfortable with stamping it directly on here just because there's foam on it, and that's gonna be wonky, and then we can't take it off because that tape is super, super adhesive. So I'm going to grab a couple strips. Let me bring these in. These are from the Peony Trimmings. And Peony Trimming is the flower die. And so these are super, super pretty sentiment strips, and you can use them. And I've just been die cutting them and having a ton of them on hand. And there you go. This is one of those times that it's going to save my bacon. And you can find one that fits the sentiment. I'm going to use this one that has the edges cropped on both ends. I'm going to grab the darkest of my ink colors, which is this Marina Mist, since we're dreaming of spring break. And then we're going to stamp down. Hold it for just a couple seconds. And then I'm going to lift. And ta-da! You get this really pretty, let me see if my camera was going to adjust. There we go. You get this really pretty Happy Bee Day sentiment strip. I'm going to give it a couple seconds to dry. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my little square adhesives again. Oh, my camera is not playing along. Here we go. And we're going to place them down directly on. And then remove the backing. Use your handy Studio Catia and place it down. And then all you have to do is just straighten it. And now you have a sentiment. And it's super easy to make, right? Totally fix my goof, which is great. And last but not least, I'm adding my sky blue crystals. So again, this is a very simple, very easy scene. It's very cute, in my opinion. I'm going to use a Studio Catia glue. And if you store it down, you'll end up getting a couple bubbles. So I'm just kind of, I opened it, it kind of went bleh, and now we can go ahead and use it, right? So I'm gonna add just a little bit of adhesive, gonna let that come down. I'm gonna place my glue dots first. I'm kind of doing them in sets of 2. I'm gonna close that back up, and then again, using my Studio Catia tool, I'm gonna grab these and place them down. And I'm gonna try to alternate sizes in between my little crystals. All right. So guys, as I'm finishing up, you still have a couple minutes to comment your thoughts on this card. Do you like to create scenes? As I mentioned, my personal preference, I usually don't because I feel that that's not my forte. I'm totally a florals gal. But the Studio Catia design team does an amazing job about using all the little elements. And yeah, this isn't a floral, it's just a really sweet little bee card. And then down here. If I had my Studio Catia tray, this would be a lot easier in the sense that I can just put them back in the container, but that's all right. And that does it, guys. Look how fun. You see, let me bring it up to camera, make sure it's gonna focus. There we go, look how close that is. This is as close as it's gonna get. And you get all this dimension. Let me pop it up. Look at that dimension. And now you're ready to place it on your card base and get ready to mail. So be sure to let me know if you're gonna be inspired by this card. And honestly, just the little bees, a couple of ink blendings, and clouds. That's it, loves. Guys, that's done. That's it for me. Comment below. I'm shutting this down. Share if you're catching this. Post live. There's a chance to win some gift cards. If you're watching on Facebook, check out our YouTube channel. We have a lot of tutorials. I go on there about once a week with a new tutorial using the products from Studio Catia. And guys, that does it for me. Thanks so much. Have an amazing, amazing day.